it's Christina Savon from Aurora TV, and today we're here with Ryan from Aurora Cooks. So what are we making today?
Today we're making arepas, which is a food that comes from Venezuela and Colombia, a little bit northern South America. It's a food that dates back almost 3,000 years ago. Archaeologists have found like slabs in Colombia and Venezuela that they used to ground the corn to a flour.
I'm super excited because I told you earlier, but my mom's Colombian and I've never actually had an arepa before, so I'm pumped to learn how to do this.
Wonderful.
So what do we do first?
Okay, so in the arepa mixture, there's going to be a half a cup of Monterey Jack cheese, there's a quarter cup of butter, there's 1.5 cups of arepa flour, there's 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. First, we're gonna start with making the actual arepa dough. So in here we have some of the arepa flour. In your supermarket, it'll look just like this. It's called P.A.N.
Is it at every market or is it specific to like Hispanic markets?
I think you could generally find it at most grocery stores just because of your international aisle. Like I said, the only difference between this and cornmeal is this is pre-cooked cornmeal. And by pre-cooking it, it makes it easier to form. That way our arepas are gonna hold their shape. So, if you don't mind helping me, do you wanna go ahead and throw in this salt and baking powder into our dry ingredients, and I'll go ahead and stir?
Okay.
Nice, she's a natural. So we're going to give this a stir. We're just gonna make sure the dry ingredients are all nicely and evenly incorporated. And then we're going to dump in our butter. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that together. We're gonna mix in our cheese. This is just a Monterey Jack cheese. Traditionally, cheese is usually found on the outside or on the inside. This just makes it that much better. This is like Arepas 2.0. So once we have all of our ingredients mixed up there, then I went ahead and we boiled some water ahead of time. And we're gonna need 18 ounces of that. So, just gonna pour our water in. And the mixture, when we first pour the liquid in, is gonna look like it might be too much water, but the corn, the arepa flour actually absorbs a lot of this water. So.
What is an arepa? Didn't you tell me earlier it's kind of like a fluffy sandwich type of deal?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I like to kind of compare it to like a Venezuelan or Colombian English muffin of sorts.
Ooh.
We got to put our oil and our lime juice in as well. And that will finish it. So we're just gonna stir this just a little bit just to incorporate the oil and the lime juice. So once you mix all this together and it feels pretty well mixed.
Fluffy almost.
Yeah, it looks fluffy. We're gonna let it hydrate for about 30 minutes. So we're gonna set this aside. So then after about 30 minutes, it'll be hydrated and it'll be ready to be formed.
I feel like it smells good.
It smells delicious.
Yeah.
You can kind of smell that Monterey Jack cheese and kind of that faint corn smell. So now we're just gonna start to form. So we're gonna take about a tennis size or a larger golf ball size and we're going of the dough and we're going to start to form this. So the great thing about this dough is that it's not gonna be sticking to your hands. And once you get it all kind of in one uniform shape, you want it to be about 1/2 inch thick. We might go a little bit thinner today. So the dough will kind of tell you whether it needs a little bit more liquid in it. Flour acts different every single day, kind of depending on where you are. So we have our griddle already ready. And we are going to just get a little bit of oil on this. And then we're just gonna put our arepas right down there. And they need about 5 minutes on each side. And then we're gonna transfer those onto a rack, and then we're gonna put the arepas into the oven, just to keep warm. So I'm gonna have you help me make some arepas here. So what you wanna do is you wanna get, about a golf ball size of dough there and just kind of form it and then press it into a little patty. And once you see no cracks in the dough, then you know you're pretty much ready to put it right onto the griddle.
Yours looks so perfect. Mine looks like a flat pancake.
Practice makes perfect.
Kind of just like cup it in there.
Yep, we're just kind of cupping it in and then pressing it down.
And I love how it doesn't stick to you, so it's
Yeah,
not like
it's
all
like-
over in your
right.
nails, you know?
This is great to do with the kids. This is a less messy but hands-on activity you can do.
Like Play-Doh.
Right, exactly. But you should actually eat this and not the Play-Doh,
Yeah.
right?
Mine's like a little baby one.
Yeah, it's perfect. This is like the tapas size, and
Yes.
this is the meal size. Right?
Yeah.
So then you're just gonna wait about 5 to 6 minutes on each side. I always say, you know, or don't commit to the flip unless you're happy with the brownness.
Don't commit to the flip.
Don't
That's
commit
the
to
key.
the flip, yes.
Love it.
Yeah. So we're gonna let these go, and I guess we can kind of talk about our tomatillo salsa. So our ingredients are, we have about half of an onion. We have some tomatillos. Do you know what a tomatillo is?
No. I
So
don't.
it is a cross between a tomato and a gooseberry.
Okay, and which one is that one?
This is the green one right here.
Okay, tomatillos, got it.
Tomatillo. It literally translates into little tomato
Cute.
in Spanish. It's very, very tart.
Do you get this at just your normal grocery store?
And you'll see it in the grocery store. It looks like this. It has a little husk over it. And all you have to do to prepare this is just take the husk right off. And then it's usually a little bit tacky. So you'll want to rinse it off with some cold water. If you're storing tomatillos, you want to take the husk off. They'll last a little bit longer. So we just take it right off. And if you're feeling particularly lazy one day, you honestly don't even, all you have to do is just peel these out of the husk, and you can leave them on the sheet tray just plain.
As is.
Yeah, what's nice about when you cut it up is you get a little bit more surface area to brown. That way that charred flavor is like prominent in your salsa. We have a jalapeno with
Spicy.
some of the seeds taken out.
Okay.
Do you know where the heat of a pepper is carried?
See?
Yeah, so it originates actually in the vein or this white part, and it's on the seeds as well. So I like to do this dry in the oven to roast these. Sometimes when you put oil on your salsas, it comes a little bit too oily, and you have the oil like coating your tongue. You're not able to like taste the full salsa. So I'm gonna stick this right into the oven. We're gonna broil this. Gonna put this and make sure you have the top rack at the highest setting. That way it's closer to the broiler. And then we're just gonna roast that. So adjusting that rack to the top part just allows those things to get roasted very, very quickly.
Okay.
And if you didn't have a broil function for some reason on your oven, you can always just heat it up to like 425, 450, and you'll be able to roast them as well.
Perfect, okay.
Yeah. All right, so while we're waiting for this, we can kind of check up on our arepas here. I'm happy with that brownness.
Okay, so this is the perfect brownness, kind of like a light.
Yeah, light golden brown is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
You can go a little bit further than that if you like. It's just kind of depending on how hot we have our griddle at. I have it at 350 degrees. So we have it all roasted now. And then we're just going to get this right into our food processor. Can I have you help me put those garlics right into the food processor as well?
Oh, just whole?
Yep.
Okay.
Tomatillos are a great thing to grow in your garden. They don't take very much. They grow like weeds.
In Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we have some lime juice.
Oh, nice. And how much would you say that is?
This is about a tablespoon and a half. All right, so then we're gonna add a little bit of cilantro, but before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and pulse it first. There we go,
Oh.
Beautiful. So we're just gonna pulse this. We want this salsa to be a little bit chunkier. And then the reason why I don't like to add the cilantro right away is it tends to be little green specks, and I kind of like to be a little bit more prominent
Okay.
in there. Yep, and I am including some of the cilantro stems in there. What a lot of people don't realize is that there's actually more flavor in the stems than there are in the leaves.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
So then we're just gonna give it a couple more pulses. I'll add a pinch of salt in here. And then that is our tomatillo salsa, and we can put that into a bowl. So here's our tomatillo salsa.
Looks delicious. Smells even better.
And then, so we're just gonna transfer these onto this sheet tray right here. It has a rack on it. That's just to keep it away from the pan. This kind of helps with the convection in the oven, just the movement of heat and air.
Let's say someone at home was trying to make these and they didn't have one of...
A pan like this?
Yeah. Would it be okay to put
It's
it?
absolutely okay. It's not necessary. This is just like an extra measure to make sure it's like evenly cooked on all sides.
Okay.
But you know, if I were to do it, maybe you do half the time you put them in the oven. So like we're gonna put these in for, let's say 6 minutes. 3 minutes into it, then go ahead and flip it over if you don't have that rack to lift them up.
Okay.
This one's at, I think, 350. So there's our salsa, that's ready. We're just gonna be waiting for those arepas to finish up and then we'll be able to plate up. All right, so I think the arepas are done. So we're gonna pull them right out of the oven. And then we're just going to top it off with our homemade tomatillo salsa.
Oh my gosh, this looks so cute.
And then we're going to just squeeze a lime right on top. And it's ready to eat.
Earlier you told us that there's a Colombian version and a Venezuelan version. So which one is this and kind of what's the difference?
So this is the Colombian version. It has cheese and butter in the arepa dough. They use it kind of as table bread, and we're using it today as kind of a tostada, whereas the Venezuelans use it as a sandwich, and they're a little bit thinner. And like once your arepas cool down, they just take a knife and make a little opening in there, and you can fill it with whatever kind of filling you want. You can do a vegetarian filling like mushroom and onions, or you can do pork and mango, or chicken and cilantro.
So is it time to try?
I think it's time to try
Okay,
it.
let's do it. Cheers. That sauce, the salsa, is so good. It just like melts in your mouth.
Isn't that good?
Delicious.
Yum.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for everything today. We also want to let you guys know that Aurora Cooks has tons of amazing classes for all ages. They do kids, they do teens. You guys have wine pairings. You guys do it all. And if you're interested in signing up for one of their classes, you can head to auroragov.org/cooking. See you next time.